they look at everyone in the eye.
Yep.
They smile.
Yes.
They smile at everyone.
Because they have innocence.
Right. But at what point
Yeah.
does that become an issue as far as you're concerned?
Yes.
Because clearly it's, I mean, some people say it's like, you know, when you reach a certain, like,
Yeah.
then you begin to get sexual desires
Yes,
or whatever.
yes.
But is that really the point? You know, like if you're familiar with Freud and stuff like that, he was saying that it's actually very young this starts.
Yes, of course, and especially when we are filled with pornography, you are having young people, very young people who are exposed to pornography. And now when they're watching pornography, but the woman is in the receiving end. And that's why there's a lot of women who was in the industry who come out and talk about that. Why? Because then they talk about this where they've been humiliated, slapped, and degraded. So when women try to have this feminist narrative of, yeah, I can be like a man, not really, because even in these industries, like you had Mia Khalifa, if her name is, Mia Khalifa, something along those names, yeah? There was this woman, she came out and she was having an interview with the BBC, and she was like, I'm embarrassed because wherever I go, people are looking at me and I feel naked. She's actually depressed. And I thought to myself, you know what, what's the only solution for her? I mean, realistically, it's the niqab. Because when we had the pandemic, a lot of women had to wear the mask. And there was a study that showed that women were inclined to not let go of their masks. Why were women inclined to not let go of their masks for vaccine? It wasn't because of the vaccine.
It's the same as the headphones.
It wasn't because of the COVID reasons. You know why it was? Because they didn't feel the need to put makeup on and look a certain way. They didn't want to be judged by the way they looked. So that shows you, especially when we look at studies where 95% of women have been sexually harassed at one point in their life. Why? Where does this stem from? This is why we say when it comes to lowering the gaze, Islam deals with it from a micro level to a macro level. Because what it tells the men to do is don't look at a woman in a sexually objectified way. If I see a woman dressed up I don't care if she's in a bikini or if she's dressed up in burqa, my job is what? To look away.
Okay, but basically...
And that needs to be taught to all of our sons.
10 minutes about sexual relations between the sexes.
Yes.
Relations between the sexes.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm passionate. Sorry if I'm coming across thin. I'm passionate. I just don't want to be... This guy's getting a bit angry now.
No.
Yeah.
About sexual relations.
Yeah.
To what degree
Yeah.
is a person's identity in religion connected to their view of sexuality?
How is their identity of...
I'll explain what I mean.
Yeah.
So, for example, Psychoanalysis argues that human beings develop through a series of phases.
Yes.
Their instinctual desires come when they're tiny, they're holding the breast of their mother.
Yeah.
They're directly, intimately
It's natural
connected.
inclination.
Nakedness is normal. Touch is normal.
Yes.
And therefore, what you could, in broad terms, define as sexual contact, in other words, physical contact between the skin of a person and the skin of another person exists. And it's kind of normal.
Another person or mum or dad?
Well, not only mum or dad, but uncle, aunt, like children, other children.
Okay.
You know, you have to physically separate children to stop them doing that when they're very young.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the civilization of people, or
not one way,
training them to behave in a certain way, alters their mind and their outlook.
Of course.
And I mean, you might argue it's a positive thing. You might also say, well, you're hindering their natural instincts, and you're if you like, trying to cultivate them, but you might also be restricting them. And when I was a child, it was common at schools I was at that the teachers would beat you. Nowadays they talk about abuse and all the rest of it. It was normal in Britain to be abused at school. When I was a kid, all of us were abused. Yes. Physically abused.
And really bad.
Abused, but
my mum told me when she used to go to school, the teacher would get them to hold their hands like this and hit it with a ruler. Specifically. I was like, what's bloody hard? They got tactics, torture tactics.
So then the question is, how do you civilize someone? I mean, I can accept a lot of what you were saying about that, but how do you civilize someone? How do you make someone behave respectfully to another person without using force?
Okay, good, but this is what I'm trying to say. First we need to define what force is, because we all have some kind of a force that has an manipulation on our lifestyle without knowing. So some people come and say, I choose to do this. I'm like, not really. How do you choose if you're being taught what to think? If somebody's coming and, you know, there's a book called Manufacturing Consent, The thing is this, if you are programmed and conditioned to think a certain way, how can you come and tell me you're making a choice? How could a woman come and tell me, oh, I choose to wear a miniskirt in winter with 9-inch high heels? I'm like, do you really choose that? Do you really choose? Because I used to do Uber, and I would see, like when I'm driving, I would see women who have their heels and they walk in bare naked on the road, and I'm thinking, well, what's going on? Like, you know, what's happening here?
But okay, sorry.
So I'm so sorry.
When did you become religious?
I accepted Islam 10 years ago.
So, how old are you?
I mean, a lot of people say I look 24, but my real age is 33.
Right, 33. So you had a younger period. And
Yes.
you had a different time.
I used to go clubbing, all this kind of stuff.
So was that?
His question.
Are you saying that was a bad thing?
100%. It was not bad, it was evil. It was evil because I had no respect to the opposite gender because of the way I was brought up and I was exposed to certain things.
But could you still have gone clubbing and still have gone off with a few women or had a few girlfriends without being rude or obnoxious to the opposite sex?
What's your name? Heiko. Okay, thank you, Heiko. Very important question. Could I have gone about my day-to-day life, which I used to before Islam? I used to go clubbing in central London in Leicester Square every single week, having girlfriends. We need to understand this concept. When we say having girlfriends, what does this mean? Now, as any man, we have this innate disposition which is called the ghira, which is the protective jealousy of our women folk. Even non-Western men have this. So when ghira,
meaning
protective jealousy over your women folk, which is so important that God Almighty, Hadith tells us that the God Almighty will not look at a man who has no protective jealousy of his women folk. Yeah. So the point I'm trying to say is this. The reason why I'm saying this is because when your daughter comes home, like I asked this to an Englishman, your daughter's 15 years old, 16, she says, I have a boyfriend. Why does your heart skip a beat? They feel uncomfortable. Even though why it's become the norm. Why? Because they're like, and they become protective. Who is he? I want to meet him. Why do you have that? Because that's your innate inclination saying, he might be after the wrong things. He might break my daughter's heart. He might be there for the one reason. That's your innate inclination coming out and saying, whoa, hold on a second. I want to meet who he is. And then when you go and see him, you look at him in the eyes and go, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Isn't it difficult for someone who had, let's say, someone who didn't have the experience that you had earlier in your life, before you became religious, who was raised in a strictly religious family, like I mentioned ago, who was in a Catholic family.
Yes.
She was looking down all the time and encouraged to do that.
Yes.
Isn't it different circumstance if someone's been raised in that background where they're constantly looking away from those things that are surrounding them?
Yes.
And appealing to them.
Yeah.
It is appealing, like you say.
Of course it is appealing.
Visceral.
Do you think as men, Muslim men, when we see something, we don't want to see it?
Isn't there also a danger that if someone is adopting that type of behaviour where they're constantly trying to look away and stop, that they then become, I mean, I've met guys who are like cursive of women who are like,
they become what?
Whores or like,
no,
you know.
These are men.
Isn't there a danger that would be stronger in someone who has been pushed to that religion rather than someone who's chosen like you have?
So the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said to us, no one takes their religion to extreme levels except it overtakes them. So in religion, we have an extreme view where we say, don't go down that route. For example, some people hold the view that arguments, if I'm walking down the road and I see a female, some people think that I should in no way have any kind of interaction, and that's nonsense, because the companions had interactions with the opposite gender. Actually, some of them went and proposed to them in public. The point is this: can I go to a woman and say, excuse me, madam, I'm lost. Where is Marble Arch? It's totally okay. Some people say, no, you cannot in any way, shape or form. A woman, oh my, what the hell are you talking about? So much so, some people, if they press the elevator and it comes and there's two females there, they're like, nah, I'm not going in there. What the hell, man? I'll go in there. What the hell is this? I'll go in there, turn my back, go into my, what floor I need to go and walk out. This idea, and you know what this causes? This causes perversion. That's why in certain Muslim countries, which they go above what Islam prescribed, you have high rates of adultery, homosexuality, and other things. You know why? Because when you make something so taboo, because the Sharia has a limit. There's some people that go over the Sharia. They think, I know better. I'll go to another extreme. So different societies. But the Sharia is balanced.
I mean,
the Sharia.
Sorry to interrupt, but I've been in Indonesia and Malaysia.
Yeah.
You go to Indonesia, Malaysia, you meet Muslim women there. Yeah. They're very flirty and open, you know.
Where?
But in Malaysia and Indonesia.
Actually, they're very jolly people, I would say, because I've been in Dubai.
Very flirtatious.
I wouldn't.
But okay, so
look,
I got
yeah, because you've lived in Malaysia. He's lived in Malaysia. I've gone to Dubai. A lot of workers there from Malaysia. They are very, very happy-go-lucky people. Yes. Like I'm with my wife. Hey, Mr. Ali. Like they have this, and I have to assume the best and see that as they're coming from somewhere good, which is another thing Islam teaches us, to assume the best. So you might see somebody, argument's sake, holding hands. I can't be like, oh, they're in a relationship outside of marriage. No, I have to assume they're married. But let's come back, let's rewind a bit. Let's come to the girlfriend, that thing that you said, where if somebody goes to a club and has a couple of girlfriends, what's wrong with that? Let me tell you the issue with girlfriends. As a man, I believe every man is polygamous by nature. And any man that comes and tells me he's not, I'll tell him he's a liar. Any man here, I'll challenge anybody to come and tell me, no, I'm not polygamous. Yes, you, sir, over there. Yes, I can see you smiling. I'm joking. I don't want to get you in trouble. The problem is this. What men do is the following. And this is what females don't understand. So a man asks a girl out. So they get into a relationship which you call girlfriend. In Islam, we don't believe in this concept. Because we believe that a woman, her worth is worth so much that not any man can just easily come and ask her out and go on a date. Because he can easily manipulate her and want to be with her for the wrong reasons. So when you're talking about girlfriends, what men are doing are the following. I would like to have sexual intimacy with that girl, and I would approach her with the intentions of, I would like to be your boyfriend. And when I get what I want, I would say, you know what? It didn't work out. No, it's not that it didn't work out. You got what you want, you see different girls, you're bored now, and you want to become a serial monogamist, which is what? I'm bored of you, let's break up. She cries, it didn't work out. No, darling. What the issue was, he was there for one reason. You had no security. What security did you have? You just had a man who's coming and telling you he likes you, says a few sweet words. Yeah, that's why women tend to fall for what they hear and men tend to fall for what they see. And that's why women wear makeup and men lie. So the point is this.
Okay, but in the animal kingdom, you have a vast variety of colour and attraction.
No, of course, but the animal kingdom, excuse my language, if there's any kids here, there are animals that lick their private parts. We don't do that. Because we can't. Yeah, but we can't equate animals. Sure we can't equate animals to us, though. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because they do that. I'm not talking about the animal kingdom does that. That's the point. But when it comes to the issue of girlfriends, what I'm saying is this is not good for the mental health of women. Do you know how many women feel insecure? When they come out the house, they have to be in front of the mirror for 2 hours. Why? Why can you come out and be like, I'm happy the way I look. Yeah, I don't need to be in front of the mirror. I don't need to wear makeup. Islam says as a woman you have much more to offer than your beauty. You're a human being, you have intellect. There's so much more you can offer. And that's the reason why I recommend the book to all the females that's listening, Beauty Sick. Please read that book, Beauty Sick. It talks about the disease of females and it's a global, you think the pandemic was worldwide. Do you know how many women feel so insecure? And when I read this book, in the book I read of a specific individual. And this is what she said. She said, I was made to feel so ugly that I would go and sleep around. Can you imagine how you've got a woman who has so much to offer society and you've degraded us to such a level that the only thing she has to offer is her beauty, and when she doesn't feel beautiful enough, she goes and sleeps around for self-worth. That is disgusting. And that's what I believe the Western world have adopted. And this is why you see women who feel less happier. Islam says, just to finish, I'm so sorry, please do come in. Islam says you have to honor a woman. That's the reason why when I ever have a discussion with a woman, the first thing I refer to is, yes, my sister. And you know why I do that? I was speaking to 3 girls who were clubbing. They came out of the club and I was talking, I said, yes, sisters. And they said, why are you calling us sisters? I said, because I don't want you to think I'm flirting with you, because that's what every single man does. I want to make that barrier between me and you that I see you as a sister. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So all I'm saying is, Islam nourishes us and nurtures us to respect women in that way.
I think I understand one thing, yeah? We did explain how the comparison are, but we didn't explain how Islamic method is in order to go along those issues. In particular with the marriage.
Jesus Christ, I pray
I can't really speak it. The idea of a Muslim is, let's suppose a Muslim man and woman, it's not like they're completely denying their sexual desires.
Yeah.
Islam is directing them how to achieve.
I gather that. But I mean, in a way, all religions are doing that. That's the point I was making. All religions do that.
Reasonable. The idea which is very reasonable. Let's compare the girlfriend and
You want to walk with God? You gotta be different.
So
separate yourself from the world.
We are talking.
Come to God.
Ignore,
Jesus Christ is God.
So let's say I'm supposing your daughter.
Jah, save
a
me.
man comes, he's a boyfriend,
Jah,
and he says
save
him to
me.
go back. In Islamic method,
mad
a man
for
will come
Jesus.
to you and ask for your hand.
This guy
Of
says
course,
I'm a
the daughter
madman.
agrees.
Yes.
And
I'm
there's
mad
the
for
idea
God.
of mahar.
I love Jesus.
There's the idea of mahar.
Speak louder.
I tell you what, I do a 30-minute show, so it's already got 30 minutes. Yeah?
Okay.
We'll talk getting another time. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
I think thematically like that is actually quite a good idea.
Yeah,
See you later, yeah?
Thank you. Does anybody
That's
have
it, yeah?
Does anybody have any questions or answers regarding the topic we're discussing? Feel free. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Yeah. So yeah, guys. I mean, in a nutshell,
I think
bro, this is blinking, bro. Is this even on? It's blinking. No, it's blinking. I don't think it's even on. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. But it's blinking. Oh, the battery low. Okay.
Why doesn't Muslim deal with racism?
Have you read the Quran before? Would you like a free Quran? Are you Muslim? Sorry.
I know I'm a bit Western, but...
No, sorry. You know, sometimes, once I was speaking, okay, I was speaking to one woman, she's like blonde hair, blue eyes.